By the end of this video, you will know how to easily defeat Necro Abyss hard. But first, make sure you change your attack order settings.
Okay.
Good, now that you're done with that, it's time to focus up. I will be breaking this up into 3 teams. We will call them Easy Mode, Hard Mode, and Hell Mode teams. Now, let's take a look at the first team. I'm calling this the Easy Mode team because every unit is very easy to obtain and it is also completely free to play. In order to take down the boss's shield, you will need your units to have skills that hit multiple times, but it is also equally as important to have your monsters on violent revenge runes. You will want Crow to move last to be able to nuke down the boss when the boss's shield is down. Everyone else's attack order doesn't matter as much. The attack order I have here works fine for me. You can also use Lauren to replace Royd, but I prefer Royd because his defense break will last an extra turn. He will also provoke and tank the hit from anyone that is stolen by the boss. As for stat requirements, I would say try to get all of your monsters over 18,000 HP if you can. If you can't, then there is more of a chance for things to go wrong. You also have a chance of Roke going crazy on a Dark Golem and killing himself from the reflect damage. Same with Crow attacking them if his health is low. So I wouldn't say this team is 100% safe, but it's close to it and it's a great first team to build for this dungeon nonetheless. The clear time isn't great on this run, but you will have some runs better than others, but at least you shouldn't have an excuse on not being able to beat this dungeon just because you don't have certain monsters. Now let's move on to hard mode. I am calling this team a hard mode team because you will technically need some RNG to be able to obtain some of these monsters. I will be splitting the hard mode team up into 2 separate teams. This way you have options depending on what for stars you might have summoned by now. The first team that I am showing you right now is a team that works really well with fast and consistent runs. It is also the current most common team to use against this dungeon, just based off of watching other content creators' guides. I found that you can use different variations of this team and they will all work just fine. You can swap Akara for Colleen and Crow for Shaman as 2 examples, or you can fuse Fire Panda Warrior and pair him with a similar team. The options are pretty much endless as long as you're focusing on multi-hits with a big nuker at the end.
I'm dying. Help me.
The second team for hard mode will consist primarily of the twins. Since they always team up and provide so many hits, they are very good at removing the shield from the boss. There is different ways you can make a team like this, but for this example I will be showing how I use 4 with 1 healer. You can just use 2 or 3 and have similar or even better results. I hope at this point your hard mode team is established and you're running Necro fast and consistently. But before we get into the last team, let's talk about some of the reasons that you might still be failing this dungeon. I have 3 for you: runes, speed tuning, and skill ups. I would make sure at least 3 of your monsters are on violent revenge and that all your runes are plus 15 if possible. For your speed tuning, you don't have to overcomplicate it, just try to make sure you're able to get a defense break on the boss before your nuker takes a turn. And for the skill ups, you don't need to have your 2As max skilled even though it does help, but if you are going to bring in a unit like Fran or Colleen, I would recommend summoning your unknown scrolls until you can max skill both of them. If you are still having issues, consider joining my Discord to get advice and talk to other members of the Slickhead community. You can also become a channel member and I will personally assist you in creating your first safe and fast Necro team. Now, for those of you that are looking to break records, let me show you the Hell Mode team. This team will require at least 1 rare unit and very good rune quality. If you check the fastest times page, you will see how similar everybody's teams are. They are all using the same strategy, and trying to get this run to work is actually hell. You want to Lucian to the first and third waves, nuke down the second wave, and rely on luck in the boss stage. Your Lucian will get stolen and then you want to S1 with Abigail and hope for a violent proc. If you don't get the proc, the run is over. But if you get it, you then want to S2 and hopefully break the shield and land a defense break. If you manage that, you can then nuke the boss down with Shaman. You then want Akara to move and to team up and wipe the shield again just before your final nuker comes in to finish the run off. As you can see, I haven't even gotten this down yet, but this guy has, so allow him to show you how this is supposed to look. I'm gonna add one more mode, the random mode. For this team, I randomly picked monsters that have multi-hits. The reason I am doing this is to show you that there is many different ways you can go about defeating this dungeon. You don't need to copy anyone's team, you just need to look at what you currently have and make sure they have the key abilities and runes for this dungeon. This was my first run with this team, and you will see that it works just fine. We have all multi-hitters, defense breakers, and healing, plus a shield to help the team stay alive. It's really that simple. I will let this run play out so that you can see how it works. I hope this video helps someone complete Necro Abyss hard for the first time. If I missed any important information in this video, please kindly share your knowledge in the comments section. Also, let me know what video you want to see me make next.
Bye bye! It's hard being a slick head. But it's real being a slick head.